Welcome back to the Houston Oilers franchise. The Oilers are set to go once again up against the Chargers in an epic rematch where in game number 1 it was a crazy shootout and the Oilers got the best of the Chargers. But sitting here with about 4 games remaining on the schedule, the Oilers are 8-5, facing now the 6-7 Chargers. You could just see there's not much of a difference between the Broncos, Oilers, and Chargers in the AFC West. All 3 teams are pushing for a playoff spot. The Oilers are the surprise team of those 3. In the last matchup, we saw DTR go crazy in a shootout with Justin Herbert, which eventually ended up going into overtime, where the Oilers won on a walk-off rushing touchdown by Antonio Gibson. It was an incredible game, the highest scoring game of the season. But DTR, Dorian Thompson Robinson, if you missed the last couple of episodes, has been out with an injury, and he returns today as he gets the starting job back from Case Keenum, who held it down pretty decently. But last episode, we also had a scenario where we got to also progress another one of our young players in Tyree Wilson, and we did not capitalize on that opportunity. Tyree Wilson had a scenario to possibly break out into a superstar development, and he failed to do so. But you can just see the numbers throughout the season. He's just been wildly inconsistent. He's not the only one on our defense that's been inconsistent. Our secondary has been bad, but Chris Harris Jr., who is the eldest statesman in the secondary, he's really been like the best player to me on defense altogether, because he has been quite the defensive pick artist, and that's kind of what we've actually really hoped for out of a guy like Chris Harris Jr. that's getting playing time. Just come in, be a mentor to the young guys, and also make some plays while you're at it. Other than that, we haven't had too many bright spots. Devin Bush leads us in tackles. Bryce Hall has 3 interceptions this year, but besides really those 2, I wouldn't say that anybody's really sticking out. Christian Barmore's had a good season defensively, but there's not many bright spots on the defense. But offensively, Antonio Gibson has had a great year. He is 3rd in the NFL in rushing, and he is 3rd in the NFL in touchdowns as well. He's got just about 1,200 yards. But we did have an injury after last episode. Robert Tonyan, who led all tight ends in receiving in the NFL, he actually got hurt. He's going to come back for the final 2 games of the season, but he had 8 touchdowns to his name. I'm hoping that we can get him to that 10 touchdown mark. That would actually be awesome. Marvin Mims is having a great season, and while we're at it here, we're going to change his number over to 19. This is what he wears in real life now. He did the official switch, so we will switch him over. I'm hoping that he will continue his hot streak and hopefully finish first in Rookie of the Year. Anything can happen. So early on in this series, I posted in my community tab where you guys can post your undrafted free agent submissions, where you got to submit your guy, have a story and everything. So here are the submissions here that did make our squad as undrafted free agents. First is Scooby Wallace Jr., a receiver who is in his 2nd year out of Texas A&M, a guy that can go up and get it, but does need to work on his route running. All of these guys will be juniors, and that's how we will keep up with their name throughout this entire series, whether they're on our active roster, on the practice squad, or other teams. Stan Bolton Jr. is the most interesting, I think, out of this group because he has exceptional speed as a linebacker, a good tackler, decent hit power, good pursuit. Not really much of a coverage guy, but he is a little bit undersized. But we're actually going to sign him to the active roster and see what he can do. He'll be the only guy right now that I'm going to do that for, but there will be other guys that obviously will make the active roster as we see injuries happen. Raju Kumar Jr. is another defensive back added to this young defensive back room. Now, one thing that he really needs to work on is that man coverage. He has great zone. Not, I wouldn't say great zone, but for a rookie, okay zone, terrible man. I mean, it's just that simple. Michael James Jr. is an interesting prospect of ours, undrafted obviously, but he actually comes in with great tackling, 81, but His strength is decent, but his finesse and power moves are really low. I'm wondering if he will even have a future at the NFL level at all. We'll have to see. We'll have to develop him a little bit more. Another cornerback we are adding here to our undrafted free agents, Michael Coleman Jr., rookie out of Texas Tech, was a teammate of Tyree Wilson, and he is pretty quick. Nothing too much else, though. And I think the thing with cornerbacks that's hard to develop, if you're not really playing, you're not really getting that experience. So really, if one of these guys has a breakout game of some sort, if we, eventually move them up to the active roster and they have a game that they show up and really show out, I am going to consider putting them as, focused players and just start to get them some experience to develop them as, guys that we want to see throughout this series. The Quavion Desser Jr. is another defensive lineman. Now, one thing about him is that he is going to be one of the only undrafted free agents that will be a nose tackle or a defensive tackle. So he's going to be an important piece to develop, because I think in this game, since I do user the defensive tackle, I want somebody that can have a high block shed rating, a guy that can get after the passer, and not necessarily a guy I'm going to rely on to do it all by himself. So our last guy here on our undrafted free agent rookie list is a quarterback, Jeff Holiday Jr. He's actually got pretty good accuracy across the board, especially for a rookie. His awareness is very, very low. He's got 80 speed, which is decent. Like, he can move. And I think this is a good quarterback prospect to have. Now, eventually Jeff Holiday is going to be on the NFL roster probably next year as, one of the 53. But right now he's just on the, undrafted, the practice squad right now. And we will see where that goes from there heading into next year. Now, one thing that we have been doing is saving these coaching points. I don't know what they call them here in Madden, but we've been saving those up, and we have been saving them for extra focused player slots. I eventually want to get, the additional 3 so we can have more guys that we get to train with each week. I think this is just an awesome feature that they've added to Madden, because now, like I said, if you have undrafted guys, if you have guys that you want to just develop, you could just use, them in these drills, and eventually, you never know, you could get that one of those surprise dev trait upgrades. As you see, we're doing this one here with Nick Bolton Jr., and he is a monster. Like, he is quick. And I quickly, decide that I'm going to keep doing it with him, and then I'm going to eventually open up more slots and see what I can do with our other players we are developing as well. So DTR has an upgrade, and he will return from injury. This is the perfect timing for him, and he actually goes up +1 in throw power. So his throw power is now at 92. Now, one thing I am going to start to work with is his deep accuracy. It's only at 70, and I want to start going deep, and I want to start, making those money throws, and he's definitely got to improve there and get his consistency going. Eric Curley has actually been pretty impressive. I've started him now in 2 games, and he has been really good. So he's going to continue to start. I had Logan Ryan there at safety. We traded him away for a 4th rounder, and then we put Anthony Bishop back there, but he wasn't making an impact. And now Eric Curley is our starting safety, and he has been playing pretty well. He had a pick last episode for his first career interception. So here we go. We start out this first game of this doubleheader episode versus the Chargers, and they will receive the kickoff. This is the second of 2 games, obviously, this season. We will play the Chargers. We have one more versus the Broncos, one more versus the Chiefs. And here we go. Justin Herbert, 19 touchdowns, 6 interceptions on the season. So the Chargers start out here with the ball. Here's the first pass of the game. It's going to be caught by Mike Williams. Jalen Smith got caught up in coverage on him that time, and it's a gain of 19. At the 44-yard line, here's a handoff to the right side, Austin Eckler, and that's a gain of 5. So now they're close to the 50 at the 48. Here is a read option. This time, Justin Herbert keeps it, and there is Eric Curley, the undrafted rookie. He has been really the only undrafted player to really get significant playing time this year. Besides Anthony Bishop, those two have switched off at free safety. But here's a throw up the seam. That's going to be caught, and that is going to be Keenan Allen wide open over the middle, and it's a first down. They're inside the red zone. So a few completions here for Herbert. Here's a quick throw to left side. It's Austin Eckler breaking a couple of tackles. He's in. It's a touchdown, and Eric Curley couldn't make the initial tackle. Chris Harris Jr. couldn't either, and he gets into the end zone for the first score of the day. So here comes the man of the hour, returning from injury. Case Keenum actually filled in pretty nicely, so DTR is going to have to follow up with a nice showing here in his first appearance back. He's here in front of the hometown fans as well, as Antonio Gibson gets the first carry of the game. That goes up the middle for a gain of 4. That eventually brings us to a 3rd and 5. Got to watch this pass rush. Here's a quick throw. And I don't know if that hit was on time or not, but there was no flag called, and Marvin Mims is looking for one. And we're going to have to punt the ball away, 3 and out. So here are the Chargers back on offense, Austin Eckler. And there is the first tackle by Nick Bolton Jr., who will play quite a bit today, next to Jalen Smith and also, obviously, Devin Bush. And off to left side, that's Eric Curley, and it looks like they're going to mark him just short, and the Chargers actually elect to punt that away. So here we start the next drive inside our 20-yard line. Here's a stretch play. Antonio Gibson looking for room, and he picks up 2. He's going to be shaken up on this play. I don't think it's going to be anything too serious. But in comes Brandon Bolden at running back. 3rd and 7, DTR, play action fake, and the pressure is right there in his face, and he throws it away. Well, our offensive line seems like they've been getting worse throughout the season, but look at this. It's going to be a roughing the passer on Khalil Mack. Take a look. It looks like Khalil Mack came in and hit DTR as he threw it out of bounds, and we get a fresh set of downs. So we luck out now. Here's a deep throw down the left side. That's Isaiah Likely filling in for the injured Bob Tonyan, and that's a gain of 31 for Likely. Our offense does look different with Tonyan out of the lineup, but that's a good play right there. 1st and 10. There is Eric Kendricks getting in and sacking DTR for a loss of 10 yards, unblocked, and nobody was open. DTR had no choice. 2nd and very long. DTR throws across the middle. That's going to be caught. And that is J-Ron McAllister, the undrafted rookie running back, as he has a catch right there, bringing it to a 3rd and 11. Quick throw up the seam. It's going to be caught, and it is Isaiah Likely again for a first down. Good find by Dorian Thompson Robinson. Now we're inside the red zone. Play action fake. The pressure was right there, but DTR tries to escape it and get rid of it. I don't know where he was throwing that one, but that one was probably going to be ugly either way. 3rd and 8. Pressure right there again. He quick throws across the middle, and it looks like that was intended for Mims. It overshot him right there, but we will settle for 3 on that drive. So the first quarter is winding down here. Eckler with the carry to start the next drive, and that will be a gain of 5, as that one will take us into the second quarter. So 2nd and 5 wide out there. Even Gerald Everett in the slot, and it looks like it's going to be incomplete. So 3rd and 5. We have an opportunity to get off the field right here. Screen pass called, and look at Christian Barmore, who almost got there for his 2nd interception of the year. Remember, he had an interception on a screen pass last episode. So here we go, back out on defense to continue this drive, and that is Sidney Brown with the breakup. Bring it to a 3rd and 10. Quick throw to the right side again, and how about Brown? 2 breakups here on this drive, and he will get the Chargers off of the field. So still down by 4. Here is Gibson just trying to get this run game going. Hasn't worked so far as we hurried up to line after a gain of 1. 2nd and 9 now. DTR throws quickly. It's Kyle Phillips, who's having a great year as well. He's probably welcoming back his former college teammate right there. 3rd and 6. Quick throw, and Marvin Mims is open, and that's a first down. Good throw by Dorian Thompson Robinson. Now remember, DTR was in consideration for Rookie of the Year, but obviously now that he's missed 4 games, he's probably out of the running for that unless he goes on an absolute tear. So here's Antonio Gibson, handoff up the middle. That one is another first down. Looks like we're just on the edge of field goal range. Play action. DTR throws to an open man, looking for Marvin Mims Jr. again. That time can't find him. Remember, Marvin Mims Jr. is considered one of the top Offensive Rookie of the Year candidates. 3rd and 9. Throwing to the right side. Incomplete. He was looking for Likely again, and he cannot find him. So that will bring in Podlesny to kick the 51-yard field goal, and that one is good. So DTR maybe a little bit rusty to start this game here. It is just a 7-6 game. Here's a quick throw to the right side. That's going to be caught by Mike Williams down the sideline. It's going to be a big first down. They're at about the 50. Quick pass. This is going to be intercepted. It's Chris Harris Jr., the veteran, his 4th interception of the season. Chris Harris was brought in to be a mentor, but he has turned that into a team-leading 4 interceptions. And he just recognizes that right away, stays put. He knew it was going, where it was going that whole play. So here is DTR backing onto the field. Quick throw to Phillips. That's a first down, easy conversion. So now at the 33, Antonio Gibson stuffed again. It's been this way all first half. Gibson has not found any running room as we near the 2-minute warning. Here's a throw across the middle. That's Marvin Mims. And he has been very, very good this year. I'm hoping that we can get him to 1,000 yards in his rookie season. That would be awesome. So now at the 13, DTR now in the pocket. Will throw to the end zone. He's hit on the throw, and that one sails out of bounds. He had Marvin Mims wide open in the end zone. 2nd and 10. He gets a redo. More pressure up the middle. DTR has to get out of the pocket. He throws at the last second. It's caught. And they will mark Marvin Mims down at the 1. They will go and review this, but look, when he had possession, it looks like his left foot, his left toe at least, was on the ground. 1st and goal. It's going to be a handoff. Antonio Gibson stuffed, and his rushing woes continue. 3rd and goal, still at the 1. Gibson tosses it, and that one will not get there. Gibson tried to find a lane inside on that pitch, and he probably should have kept going to the outside. And instead, we settle for our 3rd field goal of the half. So here is Herbert now, driving the field right away. That's a big completion to Mike Williams. They're close to the 50. They call their final timeout there. They get it to a 3rd and 5. Here's a throw to the sideline. This one's caught by Keenan Allen. And pay attention, Allen doesn't get out of bounds. The clock is still running. We pick our play, but the Chargers are not hurrying at all. And they end up not even getting the snap off. So the Chargers have some poor clock management before halftime, and that could come back to bite them. It's 9-7 at halftime. So second half action now. And I think that, our defense is playing actually pretty well. Here's a quick throw. That's Marvin Mims starting out the second half with a big time completion. And it will move the chains. At the 42 now, here is a handoff. It's Antonio Gibson, and he runs into, it looks like his own blocker, and that slows him down. 13 carries for 17 yards. This defense is showing up to stop the run game. They already know what happened last time. Antonio Gibson ran over 100 yards last time. Not today. Here's a handoff now. This is the longest run of the day. Gibson, it will be a gain of 20, and it can change just like that on one carry. Now it looks a lot prettier. Not great, but better than 14 for 17 yards. So now fresh set of downs. Here's a throw to left side. This one's tipped in the air, and DTR gets hit on the throw. It's an interception. This one will be brought back to the 50. Antonio Gibson giving chase, and that will be a pick six the other way. DTR throws it to left side. He was looking for Marvin Mims, and instead he finds Davis. And look at this. I mean, that was a touchdown. But DTR gets hit on the throw, and it just flutters in the air. Look at that. Marvin Mims was all alone by the pylon. Instead, it's a pick six the other way, and it's now 14-9. So now here we are back on offense after the pick six. There's a quick throw. It's Antonio Gibson who has it for a first down. Looks like Gibson is a little gassed, but here we are on 1st and 10 again. Throw to the sideline. That one is caught. And I believe that's Tutu Atwell for one of his first catches of the game. That one goes for a gain of 14. We eventually get it to a 3rd and 8 now. At the 31, pressure again by Bosa, throwing across the middle. And Marvin Mims looks like that throw may have been behind him. He doesn't make any adjustments, so we do settle for 3 here. We bring it within 2, 14-12. So here is Herbert, who hasn't been on the field for a while now. Here's a throw to the sideline. It's Mike Williams with the catch. And it's a first down. And now they are across the 50, 2 yards across at least. Here is Herbert throwing to the right side. This one's going to be caught again, this time Josh Palmer. And it looks like he juked Bryce Hall out of his shoes, and he is lucky because that one could have been a touchdown. So now they're inside the red zone, about 2 minutes to go here in this 3rd quarter. Throw to the sideline again. This time it's Keenan Allen, and another first down here for the Chargers. They are doing whatever they want here on this drive. They haven't run the ball yet, really, though. Under center, here's a quick throw to the right side, and that one is a nice pass breakup, PBU by Bryce Hall. As we move on to the 4th quarter, it's been dead even. Both teams have been struggling to score. The Chargers do settle for 3 on that drive as they can't convert on that 3rd down. And now here we go. Down by 5, and Isaiah Wynn gets hurt again. I can't tell you how many times it's been this year that Isaiah Wynn has gotten hurt in a game, and that's very, very troublesome. Here's a quick throw. That one's caught. It's Thaddeus Moss who moves the chains. First set of downs here for the offense. Come out here with an empty shotgun formation. Here's a deep shot, one-on-one for Kyle Phillips. That's going to be caught. J.C. Jackson was guarding Kyle Phillips, and Phillips gets the best of Jackson, and that one will be a first down. We go right back to Phillips now, converting another first, and now he's inside the 20, and we're threatening to score. Nice little drive put together right here by DTR. It's 1st and goal, handoff. It's Antonio Gibson pushing forward, and he gets to the 1. Now remember, last time we were on the 1, we failed to punch it in, so we got to get it in this time. 2nd and goal, and that one is too easy. It's a touchdown, and Gibson scores another one. Remember, he came into this game 3rd in the NFL in rushing touchdowns, and he makes it a 1-point lead. We line up to go for it here. Here's a quick throw. Isaiah Likely is wide open, and now we are up by 3. We've been down the entire game, and now we take our first lead of this game. And now we'll see if Herbert can come back in this one. 4.5 minutes to go. Here's a counter play. This time it's Austin Eckler who has the carry, and it's a big first down. I want to revisit this play, though, because take a look at Sidney Brown. He was absolutely fooled. He went back 10 to 12 yards and came back into the play and missed the tackle. That's just inexcusable football, and that's kind of what Sidney Brown's been doing this entire year. He has not been, present a lot. Like, he hasn't been making a lot of plays, so we couldn't go and put in Ronnie Harrison at safety to see if that will make a difference. On the next play, Christian Barmore gets into the backfield with a loss of 3 on Eckler. And now they go to Isaiah Spiller, who gets the carry. He throws a stiff arm to the 2nd level. He goes to the 27-yard line. A gain of 21 for Isaiah Spiller. So here we send the pressure to Herbert. This time a quick throw, and there is Harrison already making a play right off the bench. And now it's 3rd and 4. This time Herbert throws to an open man. It's going to be Eckler making a man miss. And it's an easy first down pitch and catch for Justin Herbert, and now they're at the 14. 2.5 minutes to go. Quick throw on the slant. Joshua Palmer, and he gets tackled at about the 1. And it's going to be goal to go here for the Chargers offense. Handoff right back to Eckler. It's a touchdown for the Chargers. A great drive put together there by Justin Herbert, finding a couple of targets. And now the Chargers are up 4. 2 minutes to go. Can DTR come back in his return? Here's a throw across the middle, and Derwin James comes up with the diving interception. And Antonio Gibson, it looks like he couldn't even get to that ball. DTR just overthrew him by a lot. So on the first play, DTR turns it over, and now here our defense is trying to come up with the stop. They've been doing decently all game, and let's see what they can do here. 3rd and 10. This time Herbert throws out of bounds. So he throws that one out of bounds. That not only stops the clock, but it also forces them to kick a long field goal. That one was from 59, and Cameron Dicker just knocks it through. He could have hit that one from like 63, 64. So now we're down by 7, 27-20. This is it. Here's a quick throw across the middle. Kenneth Murray with the knockdown right there on the deflection. And now it's a 4th and 10. This is the game right here. We have one timeout. Here's a quick throw. It's Marvin Mims who's open up the seam. It's a first down. We got to hurry it up to the line now. And here's DTR with trips to the right side. It's bunch formation. Here's a quick throw. Antonio Gibson across the formation. He will step out of bounds. And now it's a 3rd and 6. DTR rolls to the right side. He's going to take it himself, and he gets out of bounds. And now we have 31 seconds to go. One timeout. We're across the 50. Now at the 47, DTR, pressure from Khalil Mack. He throws this one up for grabs. That was a dangerous throw, but it looks like he was hit on that throw, and it falls to the ground. 3rd and 10, pressure off the edge, gets to DTR, and it's a sack fumble, and Joey Bosa falls on it, and that will be the ball game. DTR had no chance to get rid of this. The pressure came off of the edge. They sent a nickel blitz, it looks like, and they get to DTR, and that really was doomed from the beginning. We will lose this game 27-20. The Chargers get their revenge in another epic game versus the Chargers. Are the Chargers our rival or something in this series? I'm not sure. We've had 2 close games with the Chargers. We obviously got blown out by Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs last episode. We've already got blown out by the Broncos when we opened the season. So the Chargers have been the team we've been able to keep up with, but not today, as that pass rush was really a big difference. They were getting pressure on us. You saw some of the errant throws, the ones that were fluttered in the air. That was all Chargers pass rush. Like the pick 6 that they had earlier in the game, that one wouldn't have happened if the pass rush wouldn't have got to DTR. And that probably would have been a win in our favor, because that would have been a big 7-point swing in our favor. They would have took 7 off the board. I guess that's a 14-point swing if you really think about it. But we just can't keep up with that defensive line, and it ends up being, the death of us. So now, for the second time in 3 games, we will play the Chiefs. And the Chiefs are obviously the best team in the division, but we do have a scenario here. If we beat the Chiefs, we have a little bit of a boost going into this game. We have a +10 in play recognition, some other additions as well. So we will get to have kind of a competitive edge versus the Chiefs, I guess, this week as well. So it looks like we have another injury, and it's Javon Kinlaw, and he has not been good at all this year, kind of solidifying that bust label that he's pretty much had throughout his career so far, and it continues here with the Oilers. I mean, there's nothing we can do. We tried our best to get the most out of them, but I don't think we're going to get it. So we do end up signing a couple of guys off our practice squad that we talked about earlier in the episode. But now we go up against the Chiefs, and this time we're in Arrowhead. It's a different beast today. So DTR starts out this game now with a 3rd and long, and there's a quick throw to Marvin Mims. We're trying to get Marvin Mims as many targets as possible to try to get him to that Offensive Rookie of the Year in the AFC. Now he faces a 3rd and long. Here's a deep shot, 1-on-1, and that's Tutu Atwell. It's a touchdown. Tutu Atwell is one of the fastest receivers on the team, and that time he shows off the wheels, and that's probably the most accurate throw we've seen from DTR. That had to be in one spot and one spot only. 7-3 though, and here is that pressure that we saw last episode getting there to DTR. This time it's DTR instead of Case Keenum getting hit by Chris Jones. So back on offense, Patrick Mahomes finding Rashee Rice, the rookie out of SMU, for a first down. Now down 7-3. Here's a throw to the end zone. There is Rice again, dragging his feet and everything. It's a touchdown for the rookie. and he's also competing for Offensive Rookie of the Year in the AFC. So now we fast forward to under a minute to go. Here's a throw across the middle. That one's picked off. DTR makes a mistake, and right before halftime, we're going to give the Kansas City Chiefs a very short field to go to score here, and that's a big mistake there by the rookie. They eventually get it inside the 10. Mahomes throws, and that one's an open Isaiah Pacheco, and it's a touchdown, and the Chiefs add to their lead here before half as we move on to the second half. So here is Mahomes now under center. Here's a throw to the end zone. Another back shoulder throw. That's the second touchdown of the game by Rashee Rice. And that one's over our best cornerback, Bryce Hall. And now the Chiefs are in control. 24-7. Here is DTR trying to bring the squad back. Here's a throw across the middle. That one's caught. And that's Isaiah Likely filling in for Bob Tonyan, trying to do his best here as we eventually get it on the other side of the 50. Once again, pressure on DTR. That one flutters in the air. Easily could have been an interception. It falls to the ground. And now we're down by 2 scores. Make that 3. There's Travis Kelce, who scores an easy touchdown. And now the Chiefs are up by 21. And we have one last chance here. 3 minutes to go here in this game. Here's a throw across the middle, and DTR just did not see the safety right there in coverage. It's intercepted, and that will be the ball game. DTR finishes with 2 interceptions on the day. Mahomes went 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 2 of those going to Rashee Rice, the rookie out of SMU, who, like I said, is vying for that Rookie of the Year spot in the AFC. And we just don't have enough to keep up with the Chiefs at all. Both games versus the Chiefs have been blowouts. In both games, we had 0 sacks, 0 pressure on Mahomes, and that's been the story of this year. We haven't gotten pressure on anybody that we played, to be honest with you. The only quarterback is Justin Fields, and we already know the Bears have like one of the worst offensive lines in the league. That should say something about just where we are as a team. So after today's episode, 2 straight losses, we are now 8-7 and grouped in this big lump of teams in the AFC who are 8-7 and 7-8. But the assistant GM calls coach Eddie George into the office, and he wants to talk to him about, just the turmoil between the offense and the defense this year, because the offense is really doing the carrying of the load and the defense is giving up a lot of defensive touchdowns or offensive touchdowns by the other team. But I don't know if it's been the coaching or the players. I'm not exactly sure. But one thing's for sure, going into the offseason, we're definitely going to be looking at pass rush. That's probably going to be our number one thing. I mean, if we can't get after the quarterback's just going to sit there and pick the team apart. So we're definitely going to be addressing that, and definitely something that we want to improve going into season number 2. And I'm guessing that we will do that in the draft and in free agency. So we're going to look in 2 places. So one of those teams grouped in that 8-7 group is the Colts, and I did not expect them to be this good, to be honest with you. If I had to make a prediction today on how the Colts will do in real life, I'm projecting maybe 4 wins, 5 wins. Not a great team, but we'll see, because they are doing pretty well here in this series, 8-7. And now this turns into a matchup that has playoff implications, because we play the Broncos, who are 8-7 in week 18, and now we play the Colts in week 17, who are 8-7. I thought the Colts were going to be one of the easier games on the schedule. That's proven wrong, because this is a winning football team. So we'll see if the Houston Oilers are up for the challenge of maybe taking two of these teams out of the playoffs. We're going to have to see. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Next episode will be the regular season finale, so I hope you guys don't miss that one. Hit subscribe, hit that like button. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.
It's too easy. I've been there, done it, seen it. Boy, all that like Keenan. Still got crack, they fiendin'. Flow still hot like Phoenix. Shine so bright, I'm gleaming. This off top, I'm tweaking. Fresh out the rat like Neiman. And I'm still trying to fight my demons. Cause we all gotta act like Tina. That's why I gotta ride with the Nina. Outside, it's a war going on.